Hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Talk Ray Bradbury, the show here on Let's Talk Entertainment, where going back to 2018, I've been attempting to read and review each of the roughly 600 short stories written by the late, great Ray Bradbury in his long career. Today we are up to story number 259, which is also the 20th of 22 tales in his 2009 collection, We'll Always Have Paris. Today's story is Miss Appletree and I. The way that these reviews work is I do a brief synopsis of what happens in the story, sort of the plot and character and all that, and then I just try to wrap it up with a very light analysis of what it all means to me, what I took away from it. Is it a good story, one of the better Bradbury stories, something worth your time to read? And perhaps you've already read this story and now you come to this video to see what I thought. Alright, so a young couple named George and Nora, have a made-up woman in their life, Miss Appletree. She's sort of an imaginary character. She's tall, thin, golden-haired, perfect. Everything opposite of the appearance of Nora. If Nora were to suddenly, burn the breakfast, George would say, "Careful, I'll run away with Miss Appletree." And this sort of verbal sparring went on in their life for years, and then it sort of went away. But decades later, they've had two kids. They've grown up and moved away. George is in his 50s. He's feeling sorry for himself as he's sort of realized that he's past middle age. Nora, on the other hand, also getting older. She's heavier. Her hair's gone gray. She's not feeling so great about herself. But one day, Nora reminds George of Miss Appletree. He says, maybe you should run away and have a fling with Miss Appletree. And he doesn't even really remember who she is until sort of some goading and some memory jogging to find out that, yeah, there was this character. But he tells her that, running away with other people, these flings, they ruin marriages. Even strong marriages can be torn apart by the lies and the deceit and all of that. That morning, a saleswoman resembling Miss Appletree comes to the door, and Nora doesn't reveal her name or what she was selling, and it's not entirely made clear to us what the conversation was about. But Nora comes back in, it doesn't tell us any information about the salesperson, but we get the feeling that she sort of resembles Miss Appletree. She suggests then that George go up to bed. It's early in the morning, but he said, you're getting sick, you should go to bed, go rest. And he does that. He hops in the bed, takes his clothes off, and then soon enough, somebody slips into bed with him, who we don't know the identity of, but I think it's Nora. All right, so this is a heartwarming little story, but not fully satisfying in its execution. Prose-wise, it's Bradbury's ever dependable, gentle, flowing, easygoing, comforting prose. It has all of that. None of that is wrong. But the story itself doesn't quite work as well as I had hoped. So, George, early on, the man in the relationship, the young man, he jokes about running away with Miss Appletree. And then we meet an older, wiser George who loves his wife more than he could possibly imagine. And in fact, at this point in his life, he can't imagine himself running away with anyone else. But Nora sort of goads him and suggests that, I'm not good enough now. You should run away with Miss Appletree. So clearly, Bradbury's trying to convey some sort of difference in the way that men and women mature. We think of young men running away with women and not being faithful, and where we think of the younger wife being the one who's possibly going to be harmed by this behavior. But in either case, I think both of these people are good, or turn out to be good people, and they continually test each other throughout their relationship. But by the time we get down into their older age, they're in their 50s, which isn't that old really. I'm 42, but they've solidified in this relationship where nothing can break it except for perhaps death in the end. But Bradbury's clearly trying to convey something about that, but it's not fully satisfying in the execution. So not one of the better stories in We'll Always Have Paris from 2009. All right then, so we've got actually one more story. I've been saying we have two more stories. We have one more story in this collection. It's called A Literary Encounter, which will be our 260th Ray Bradbury review here on the channel. There is one more chapter in the book after that. It's called America, and it's a poem. And I don't generally cover poems here. I may mention the poem in that video. Otherwise, next time when you come back, we'll be wrapping up we'll always have Paris. So be sure to tune in for that, probably tomorrow. You'll have to find out. So subscribe to Let's Talk, and I'll see you again soon.